Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, in the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful. This question, which was sent to us by a respectful student, it says, as we see, a parachutist has opened his parachute and is falling to earth at constant speed. What is the principal energy conversion taking place as he falls? Well, in multiple choices, there is a very important tip to be said. What is it? Try to finish as possible as it. It will not be possible. It will not be always possible, but almost it will be possible, inshallah, Rabbil Alameen. Okay, as possible as it. Try to finish the question before reading the choices. Okay, again, as possible as it, or if it's possible, try to finish the question and take the decision about the answer before reading the questions. Okay, this will make answer easier with respect to you. Well, how can we do that? Let's read the question in another way. A parachutist has opened his parachute. Well, so here we are talking about a parachute. So here, this parachute is a key word. Gives us the sense of what? The sense of presence of air friction or air drag or not? Yes, well, it gives us the presence of air resistance or air drag or air friction. Well, uh, and is falling to earth. This is the second key word. Falling to the earth gives the sense of what? Gives the sense of falling, which means height decreases. Okay, because the height decreases, the potential energy, the gravitational potential energy also will decrease. Why, mister? Because the gravitational potential energy equals mgh. Well, so the gravitational potential energy decreases. Does it mean it disappears? No, it doesn't disappear. But it means that it's converted to another form, okay, or transformed to another form of energy. Well, for the first instant, you may say, yes, mister, I got it. It's transformed to the kinetic energy. Yes, we say as objects fall, the potential energy changes to the kinetic energy. This is the trick, and this is the dangerous point you may face if you don't read the question well. Let's continue reading and search for the givens between the words. Well, the next word says at what? At constant speed. Well, what's meant by constant speed? Constant speed gives the sense, it means V is constant. Okay, constant speed gives information about what? Gives information about the kinetic energy. Well, okay, this is the form of energy based on the speed. Kinetic energy, it equals to half v squared. Well, but v is constant, so it means the kinetic energy is constant. Well, so if you say the potential energy changes to kinetic energy, it will be wrong. Why, mister? Because the speed here is constant. Well. Mister, can the speed be constant during fall? Yes, in presence of drag, in presence of air friction. This is what we call the terminal speed. If you remember the terminal speed, what's meant by the terminal speed? It's the maximum speed can be or with which can the object falls in presence of air friction or air drag when the weight of the object to downward is equal to the drag or the resistance of air upward. So the object will fall with a constant speed called terminal speed, as we said, and the acceleration here will be zero because the net force will be zero. Well, so now inshallah Rabbil Alameen, from this argument we can decide air drag means there is a friction, and whenever we talk about friction, we talk about which kind of energy. Well, that's it. We talk about the thermal energy. Well, so here we have thermal energy in the scene. Well, so the potential energy changes to what? Kinetic energy? No, here it's not kinetic energy. In other cases of fall or free fall, the potential energy changes to kinetic energy. There is no problem. But when the object is in the case of terminal speed, in terminal speed, the potential energy changes to what? Not to the kinetic energy, because the kinetic energy is constant. The kinetic energy is constant. Well, so the potential energy, or in other words, the gravitational potential energy changes to what? Changes to thermal energy due to the friction. Okay, so the answer is what? Kinetic energy to potential energy, it's not accepted. Kinetic energy to thermal energy, not accepted. Potential energy, kinetic energy, not accepted. This is the accepted answer, and thank you very much. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.